Praber. I am sitting here at home in my favorite comfy seat. Gotta love the comfy chairs. Gotta love them. But yeah, no, I am just hanging out tonight, and I was actually over doing a TikTok live while I was waiting for 6:30 to happen over at YouTube. So, so yeah, it was kind of fun. Okay, so lots of stuff going on. I know. Let's see. I got my tickets. Technically, I got my tickets like a while ago, and I just got the actual bracelets. But yeah, Rock the Country is a 2-day music festival with like Kid Rock, Leonard Skinner, Travis Tritt, Jason Aldean, and a whole slew of others. Just a whole gob of people. So it's a 2-day music festival. And it was pretty reasonable when I got the tickets, but I've heard that they are absolutely astronomical now. I don't know for sure, but there's only a few cities. They wanted like smaller towns. Well, Ocala obviously is that. So we're actually like the biggest name that sold out in Ocala this year that came into concert was Kenny G. And there's nothing wrong with Kenny G. It's just, if it was maybe about 10 years ago, then yeah, maybe 20 years ago, I could see that. But again, I don't, but it did. Sold out concert for him. In the biggest place that we have concerts. But this is going to be a 2-day music festival outdoors. It's going to be insane. Kenny G, that already happened. That was she's like, Kenny G, where is it? No, that was over at the Riley Art Center, but I heard that he may be coming back because he was so well received in our small town. So if that's the case, then I will definitely let you know. But this time it's going to be 2-day outdoor concert coming up this weekend. So excited. That is going to be this weekend, and it is going to be Rock the Country. It's got Travis Tritt, Jason Aldean, Leonard Skinner, Kid Rock, and like a whole slew more. I don't know. It was like a whole slew of them. So that's this weekend. It's 2 days in Ocala. And even there's like this TikTok thing this video reel that's going around of Kid Rock going, yeah, we're going to these 7 different cities, but what's up with Ocala? He's like, there's like 35,000 people going to be there. And I'm like, where would they even put 35,000 people here? Like, we're actually going out to a horse farm. So it's going to be on a horse farm. But apparently it's a thing. It's happening. I was like, oh my goodness. It's a redneck version of Woodstock. But it should be pretty cool. But there's like general audience where everybody's just like out and about, and then there was like VIP, which I wasn't paying that much for, and Rock On. And then there was like assigned seating where you have like a spot, but you got to bring your own chairs. So yeah, we got to bring our chairs. That's when you know it is, yeah, because we have to bring our own chairs to the concert. I love it. But I have a big old fan that's battery powered, and I'm not sure if they're going to let me take it in or not. I'm not sure. I'm going to try, because worst case scenario, I have to take it back out to the car, but I'm going to sure try to get that thing, because it works on Ryobi batteries. And I have multiple, because this is Florida, and we're always doing like outdoor events and stuff, and I'm over 40 and fluffy, and it's hot, and I don't do that. So yeah, so I have 4 of them, and they're pretty good size. They're like this, and they're high powered, but 3 of them are spritzer fans. Excuse me, like misting fans. So you bring like a Lowe's bucket. Oh my goodness, I sound more redneck every time I say this. Anyway, you bring like a Lowe's bucket, and you pour some gallon of water in that, and then it will literally sit there and mist you anytime. So you have the misting pump on, or you have the regular fan, or both. And yeah, so I was thinking I'm going to try really hard to bring one of those in. I don't know if they're going to let me or not, but they did mention that there's free water because, you know, it's going to be hot as Hades out there. It's going to be so hot. It's going to be so hot. So yeah, this weekend, oh my God. So I don't know whose brilliant idea it was to go to Florida in the summer and have an outdoor 2-day event. We're going to cook, okay? We are going to cook, but I don't care. I know how to dress for Florida. I got this. I'm going to have a big old sun hat. I'm going to get my blue jean cutoffs and tank top. I am going to be fine. I will be great. I'll have my misting fan. Golden. I will be golden. But it is going to be hot and it is going to be very crowded. It's going to be crazy. So excited. I've been waiting for like 6 months for this, and I got my tickets in. It's like a wristband thing. It's kind of cool. Hold on. I can show you. It's right here. So pretty cool, right? I thought it was pretty cool. So yeah, my husband, me, and Lexi doesn't know any of this music, but we got her a ticket anyway. So I don't know about that. Hold on one second. I gotta plug my phone in. Why have I always got tech issues whenever I go onto a YouTube live? Hold on. Oh, like mandatory. I go on YouTube live. Technical difficulties. But I was even really super careful, and I took off the thing for my phone so it'll fit in the, I gotta relax in my chair. That was my comfy chair. But yeah, I wanted to take off the cover so that I could sit there and do that. Anyway, what else? Oh, I had a Karen moment today that we don't even want to talk about. Tell me, please tell me. Please tell me. And yeah, I was the Karen. It's okay. I tried to be, I controlled myself for the most part. So I don't know. Do you have uniforms where you work now or recently? Because it's been quite a few years since I worked for somebody else. I work for myself as a realtor or broker or whatever. So when I was working for somebody, they always supplied the uniforms. But I know different companies, different policies, different whatever. But yeah, there was an incident and it involved my little girl. So that was not good. And I'm out several $100s, so I guess I have a reason to complain. But anyway, so I don't know. Tell me what the deal is with the uniforms now. Because she had to she got one, but this is Florida, and she was sweating through daily, and it was just gross. So I was like, you can't just do one uniform. You're literally washing your uniform every single night. That's the only thing in the washer. That's just wasteful. I was like, this is ridiculous. So we went and got her 3 more uniforms because she was working 4 days a week at that point. It was over the summer. And it was like 105 degrees or whatever. She's out there, and they have the kids out in the drive-through with iPads. And they take the order, and then by the time you get up to the actual window, it's all done, ready, and you just scoot out of there. And it's their way of making it go a little bit faster because, you know, Chick-fil-A is quite popular. So yeah, Lexi girl. So we bought her 3 additional uniforms so that she'd only have to wash her clothes like once a week, maybe twice a week, depending on if my laundry room smelled like she'd been out working outside in the sun all day. So anyway, so $220 some odd for 3 uniforms. Three. We won't even get into the coat issues. That was a whole nother thing, whole nother day, and a whole lot more money. That's fine. Okay. 3 uniforms, over $220. So what am I supposed to do? Like, I mean, she had to have the uniforms. She was working. So went ahead and got them. And then when she hit 16, she's like, I'm getting job offers like crazy. These Chick-fil-A couldn't care less. They have never even, like, they didn't even do her things when, the 30-day, the 90-day, the whatever. They didn't do any of that stuff. Or if they did, it was like 6 months late. Or I think they skipped one altogether. So they just, whatever. She's like, they couldn't care less if I work here or not. So I'm going to go somewhere else where, I'm not just a body or whatever. So I was like, okay, whatever you want to do, kid. So she almost immediately after she put in her 2 weeks and she did her last day, they start contacting her like crazy. You have to turn in everything that has Chick-fil-A. You have to turn in your name badge. You have to turn in your food, your meal card or whatever. She'd get like a discount on meals or whatever. And you have to turn in your uniforms. You have to, all of this belongs to Chick-fil-A. You have to turn it back, turn it back, turn it back. Okay, so she got all the uniform, all the stuff. She brought it down there. Well, she had the wrong pair of shorts. She had like a different pair of shorts entirely. And they're like, that's not ours. And she's like, oh. So she knew she had to come back. And then she didn't have the name badge. She had just barely lost it. So she was like, a whole year, she had that stupid name badge, a little plastic name badge. And then she puts her 2 weeks note in, and that's when she loses it. I'm like, oh, figures. So, and it might actually be in one of the uniforms. I don't know. So she goes down there. They immediately charge her $10 because she didn't have, and they wanted cash right then, because she didn't have her name badge. And I'm like, well, you should have the name badge. I don't know. So I'm like, so when are we getting reimbursed for the money that we paid for the uniforms? And she's like, oh, I don't know. The person there didn't say anything, didn't seem to know anything about it, whatever. I'm like, okay. So weird, but okay. So had to take her today to go and get her shorts, take her shorts in. So again, so they would have all the stuff. Go to put that in, and the lady takes it and she's like, okay, bye. And I'm like, no, I have questions. How is she getting reimbursed for the uniforms you now have because she paid for those? And the lady's like, oh, we don't do reimbursement. Okay, so she's like 15 when it was over $220 of money. That's equivalent to about 3 weeks of pay for her. And you don't do reimbursement. And she's like, no, we don't do that. I'm like, okay. And you guys are all okay with that? Like, really? These are kids. You think one uniform is sufficient in Florida sun where you're having to work it outside? Okay. She's like, well, you can have them back. What are we going to do with Chick-fil-A uniforms? What? Like, what? And I'm like, but y'all made a big deal about her getting in here and bringing in everything that was Chick-fil-A. And she's like, well, so, and they were gonna, if I hadn't said anything, they wouldn't have even offered that. Like, ew. So to say I was not a happy camper, I was like, is this normal? Is this normal? I don't know. So, I mean, if it is, y'all, I am so sorry. That just seems wrong, especially like somebody that's working, they're making minimum wage and then has to pay hundreds of dollars or just use and reuse the same outfit every time you go to work. And y'all know I love a uniform. I love my uniform. I love it so much. But it wasn't no $220. That was crazy. It's absolutely craziness. So I don't know. It's not resolved. We left. I was just like, I need to go talk to Jesus for a few minutes. Because I'm gonna lose it. So we left. My daughter, she knew I was pissed. So she hauled butt out of there so fast. She's like, I don't want to be no part of this. So we went out to the car. I was like, okay. I mean, I didn't do anything wrong, so I have no problem saying a few things about that. So I did contact corporate because I don't think that's right. I don't think it's right. But maybe it's normal. I don't know. I've never worked in fast food, so I don't know. But it just didn't seem right, especially like some people, that might have been their grocery bill or their electric bill or something. I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me. It just does not sit right with me. So anyway, and then she got a text, and then the $10. Really? You threaten and fine a 15-year-old over a plastic name badge, and then you take the uniforms from her. We still don't have them. They're there. I mean, what am I supposed to do with them? They're literally like, oh, you can come back and pick them up. So they sent her a text message just to reiterate that she's not getting her money back. Or technically, I'm not getting my money back. Not a happy camper. What's the minimum wage? She was making $11 an hour. So I don't know if that's minimum wage. I think that's minimum. Nobody at my office makes $11 an hour. Everybody makes more than that. Nobody would work in my office for $11 an hour. Like, so, you know, yeah, I haven't paid something like that for years. So yeah, not good. Halloween costumes. That's so wrong. That's so wrong. I mean, technically she could. They're hers, but I don't even want to go down there and pick them up. I just, y'all, I think of myself as a fairly nice and reasonable person, but I think I would have some words. I think I would definitely have a few. I would have to share my mind. I think it's wrong that you do that. Like, because even my husband, I was like, what are we supposed to do with the uniforms? If I go and pick them up, what are we supposed to do with them? And he's like, well, you know, Lexi, you got some of the phone numbers from some of the other employees. He's like, contact them and see if they want to buy them. And I was like, don't you think that Chick-fil-A is actually the one that's in a better position to resell the uniforms than we are? And he's just like, well, yeah. And I'm like, I mean, they were pristine. They were pristine condition. She took very good care of them. But yeah, I was not thrilled. And it was my birthday today. And that just, I don't know. I mean, I don't really do anything, but at the same time, it just kind of was like, really? First thing in the morning? Y'all, really? Anyway, it wasn't really first thing in the morning. It was like 9:15 or something like that. And I get up at 5 a.m. So we'd already been to the gym. I'd already been in the tanner. We'd already done all the stuff. Whew, working out with my daughter though, she's crazy. She is crazy. She lifts all of the crazy, and then she wanted to do weighted squats. Yeah, no. That was a lot. And she didn't like, it wasn't like it was 20-pound weights. No, it was like 80 pounds, 100 pounds, 105 pounds. At 105 pounds, that's where she couldn't do it. But she wanted to see like where my fail was. So she just kept piling on the weights. I'm like, this sucks. So I went from that to the Chick-fil-A debacle. By the time I got to the office, I was like, I'm done for the day. Like, I don't even know what is going on today. Aw, thank you. Maybe, I don't know what in the world, but yeah, it was just not the day for me today. So I was like, okay, well, it must be this age. This is the age where I become a Karen. I need a different haircut. I don't know. I asked for the manager. I was already talking to the manager. The managers were the one that were saying that stuff. But I don't know. Maybe that's normal. It doesn't seem right. I mean, I can understand charging if it was their uniforms and you failed to bring them back, like her name badge. Okay. That's reasonable because it was in her care. She did not pay for it. They wanted it back and she got charged for it. Okay. But the rest of them she had to pay for, and they still were demanding them back. And now they're like, oh no, that's okay. Come get them. You can keep them. Then why were you demanding them back so bad? Oh, anyway, I don't know. It was a whole thing. You know, I think the worst part is my daughter looked at me and she's like, Mom, I was looking so forward to working at Chick-fil-A because it's like really played up as this really amazing place to work. And she goes, I'm just so disappointed in them. And I was like, aw. I was like, yeah, me too. I'm sorry. Because she also wanted to go there for the scholarships. They have some amazing scholarships and stuff according to them. And then once she was working there, no, it's actually only for one college. It's a Christian college in Georgia that we've never even heard of. And if you don't want to do that one, that's it. And if she goes to school out of state, Florida has some amazing scholarships. They have something called Bright Futures for the kids here, which is awesome. it's pretty much, you know, if you go to high school here in Florida, you're probably going to get it. You have to do either a job or volunteer hours. Lexi has both, so no problem. So yeah, Bright Futures, she would lose that scholarship if she tried to use the other. So it was like, you know, so yeah, that it didn't, the scholarship thing didn't even remotely, yeah, didn't coincide, didn't work. She wants to go to UF. We're hoping. I'm hoping just because it's only 45 minutes up the road, and our son went to FSU. FSU is a lovely school. It is a wonderful school. It is 3 hours away. 3 hours away. I know some of y'all are like, you have kids way far away and like across the country or something like that. 3 hours is close enough to be like a car ride, but just far enough to be annoying. That apparently is that's the three, because like that's 6 hours of driving in one day if you go up there and back. So you pretty much always have to spend the night. And I don't know about you, but he shares an apartment with 3 other guys. I'm not staying in that place. No. I'm not even really sure about sitting on their couch. Because guys are gross. Teenagers. They're teenage guys, okay? They don't know. This is the first time they had an apartment or whatever. So they got, you know, all of the, you know, the significant others and whatnot. I don't want to, don't want to know. So yeah, I don't spend the night there. I don't think that's a good plan. No. So we always have to go up there, and then we get a hotel room, and then it's just this whole big old thing just to be able to visit our son. And he's really close. So it's just enough to be annoying. So I'm like, Lexi, you can do Gainesville, you can do the Orlando, or you can do Tampa. She's like, I was like, FSU, I don't even want to hear it. Don't even apply. She's like, I agree. She goes, it's just too far. Even she got annoyed with it because it's a ways. It's a ways. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I don't know. Well, let's see. Gainesville is about 45 minutes away, depending on what part you're in Ocala or whatever. So from my office, it's 35 minutes away. From my house, it's 45 minutes away. So, and we know this very well because our son, prior to going to FSU, actually used to go and get his cello lessons and stuff like that up there. So we did go to Gainesville quite frequently. I go to Gainesville still fairly frequently. So yeah, that's how I know from my office it's only 35 minutes, and that's with traffic and everything. But then there's over in Orlando, and they have a really good program for like broadcasting, English, and she's an English major. She wants to be a college professor. Okay. Like, cool. She's like, yeah, I can do high school. I'm like, you know what? I've already had a lot of like nerves with you being in high school, because it's really not safe to be a high school teacher at all, being in high school. So I was like, they need to get themselves figured out with the gun stuff before that. So I was like, maybe college doesn't seem to have that as much. So why don't do college professor? She's like, well, I'd probably have to get a doctorate. I'm like, I'm cool with that. You're young. You'll be fine. Go ahead. Go to school forever. It's fine. I'm scared. I'm scared for the teachers. I'm scared for the students. It is very scary. And I mean, it's Ocala. We don't really have much going on as far as that kind of stuff, but we still do. I mean, it's still, they had a middle school kid that didn't want to go to school, so he called in a bomb threat. Really? And they had to take it seriously. They have to take it seriously. Oh my goodness. So obviously, I don't know about obviously. I think he got expelled, but obviously he got in trouble, like really, really bad trouble. But yeah, he just didn't want to be in school. Just no. I think I'll just disrupt everybody's lives completely and totally. It's just, I don't know. But what if it was, some kid didn't want to go to school and he really did have an issue? Ugh. It's scary. It's scary. So anyway, but yeah, so I was like, do you really want to Thanks, was I just saw it. It was like on the top part. At a school here, they put a litter box in an elementary school bathroom because a child identified as a cat and they had to accommodate them. There are no words. Really? I don't think that was in Florida. Was that in Florida? Because I don't think that was in Florida. Was it? Dank Swizzle, where was that? Where is here? Because that definitely does cause issues for hygiene, I would think. Okay. 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 I'll agree to disagree on that. Had to. I don't think they should have to, but okay. I don't think that was Florida. That just doesn't seem like something that would fly in Florida. Y'all are crazy tonight. Y'all are crazy tonight. I thought my stuff was like, I don't know, because I was all worked up for the Chick-fil-A debacle. That's what I'm calling it. It's the Chick-fil-A debacle today. I'm still not really sure, aside from just, I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that one. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. But, yeah. Now we got cats with litter box children. That does beg questions about the parentage. Like, sincere questions. I mean, if my kid came in and said she was now a cat, I'd be like, all right, here's your cat food. Best of luck for you. I mean, oh, you want to play on your Nintendo or whatever? No, cats don't do that. Yeah. Yeah, no, cats play with a scratching post and then they nap all day. It's nice. So, oh, you don't want to do that. Okay, well, I'm thinking you're not a cat then, because that's what cats want to do. Like, play with string. Cats also don't go to school. So if your child identified as a cat, they wouldn't be in the school. There's all sorts of flaws in this. There's so many flaws. I've had many cats. I've never taken them to an elementary school. So if the child identified as a cat, shouldn't they stay home? Either they are or they aren't. You can't have it both ways. So, I don't know. But yeah, a litter box, that just sounds like maybe some parentage issues. Because, you know, if you want to identify as a cat, you go right ahead and identify as a cat. But that doesn't mean that the rest of us have to deal with your litter box. Because that means somebody had to scoop it, right? Somebody actually had to... Oh, bless that janitor. And I mean, kids aren't the tidiest of individuals, so I can't even imagine a litter box that's humans. Like, my mind is like so warped right now. Like, why would you do that to me this evening? I'm sitting here going, what? Like, what in the world? Okay, yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to, because there are so many questions now. So many questions. And I'm one of those people, I love going to big event, like, you know, the Rock the Country thing. You know what I want to see even more than the music and the musicians? That's lovely. That's wonderful. But I can listen to that on, you know, on the Amazon Music or whatever, the Spotify or whatever. You know what I love? I love people watching. I love people watching so much. I love like making up stories and figuring out how close I got to reality. I don't know if y'all do that or not, but if it, I got their whole background, I'll figure it all out in my head. Like, okay, well, he's wearing a wedding ring and she's not. So that must be, you know, this and that over there. And oh, this other woman is coming up and talking to them. I wonder, you know, it just whole backstory, okay? And then comes to find out, you know, it's his sister or something like that. But seriously, it's like the whole, I just love just going through the stories. Like it's like, you know, those books that they have where there's like it's like draw a picture of this, and it's like to get you started and let your imagination just go run wild. And whatever the picture you drew might be absolutely awful. It might be like stick people or something like that, but it still allows you to begin the creativity, you know, amuse. So I amuse myself with the muses at these large events, and I just sit there and I just wonder what people's lives are like, you know, when they go back home. What is their life? What is their everyday life? What do they do for a living? What do they spend their time on? What kids do they have? Do they have kids at all? What do they, I mean, like, what kind of place do you live in? Like, all this stuff. Like, oh my goodness, I love that. My husband, he thinks I'm nuts, but he gets a really big kick out of sitting there because I don't do it quietly. I'll just sit here and be like, see that one over there? I bet. And he's just like, what? Where are you even getting this? It's so fun. It's absolutely so fun. Oh, me too. We would have so much fun. We would have so much fun sitting there and just being like, you know, sitting there drinking your frozen latte or whatever. I get a mocha. I love mochas. And my iced mocha, no whip. You know, everybody's got to have their drink. And just sitting there figuring out the hidden lives of everybody. Because, you know, I mean, we pass people all the time. And they're strangers. And sometimes you don't give them a second look. But what if you did? Like, you know, like Sherlock Holmes, where they could figure out exactly that you live with 3 cats, one of which is an orange tabby, because there's like hair, you know, the clues and the signs and the whatever. I love that. I love that. I would have been Watson. I would have been just following him around going, wow, you know, I mean, just how cool is that? So if I can even take a stab at it. And then my husband, he's not shy. So he'll strike up a conversation with just about anybody in any location. He absolutely is hilarious. He will talk to anybody, and he does. Drives Lexi nuts because, you know, she'll be like at a place and she'll be wanting to leave or whatever. And she's like, where's dad? And I'm like, he's talking to somebody. And she's like, he is so quiet, but he by far is more of an extrovert than I am, by far and away. He talks to everybody. I've even had to talk to him about it and told him he can't do that because he'll talk to teenage girls like they're his daughter. And so he's sitting there talking to a teenage girl, and she's looking at him like, is he hitting on me? And I'm like, it's not like, he doesn't think of them like that. He honest to God doesn't. Like, if somebody's wearing something maybe not quite appropriate or something, I will see it before he will. And I'll be like, did you just see that? And he'll be like, see what? He doesn't see it. He does not get it at all. I promise you. So he'll have a conversation with like a teenage girl. I'm like, honey, there are certain people on this planet that you are no longer able to have a conversation, try to have a conversation, or in any way make eye contact with. Teenage girls, that's those. And he's just like, why not? And I was like, because the world has changed and you need to change with it because you're going to get yourself in trouble. They don't know if you're just some dirty old man. They don't know. And he's like, why would they think that? I was talking about, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I promise you, you cannot talk directly to teenage girls. It's a bad plan for your life. And he's just like, he has no idea. It's one thing if Lexi's with us, but if she's not, and I know full well he talks to everybody. It does not matter their age, their race, he even tries to speak in Spanish, and it is so sad. And I love him to death, but his Spanish is horrific. But yeah, he tries. He'll try. Even if they don't speak any English whatsoever. He'll just keep having that conversation and just, he assumes they understand, and he just keeps going. And I'm like, they are not getting not a word of what he's saying, but I just leave it alone because he seems to be enjoying himself, and the person he's talking at doesn't seem to be bothered, so whatever. But it's alcohol. There's definitely alcohol involved sometimes. My husband tells me to shut up. I would never tell my husband. The only time that I tell him he cannot is when it is with teenage girls, because I really do worry about his safety. Because he just doesn't get it. And I'm sitting there looking at the teenage girl, and she's got an expression on her face like, should I be worried about that? Why is this man talking to me? Like, just the kind of smile, like, but it's like a fear smile. Like, you cannot talk to teenage girls. No, no. So yeah, that's the only time I'm like, So I'll try and, like, I'll try and speak up a little bit more, so then they're talking to a couple, which seems to be okay with them a little bit. But again, it's very rare that he would actually be in a circumstance to talk to a teenage girl anyway. But like when we're out and about, he talks to everybody. Everybody. Does not matter if you speak English or not. Does not matter if you are 99 years old or 9 years old. He's going to talk to you. And he's going to talk to you the same whether you are 9 years old or 99. There is no differentiator. He doesn't talk to a kid as if I've seen him talk to babies as if they're another adult. They are just has that conversation. And he's like, yes, and we're going to move this right here. Like, he just, okay. Yeah. But yeah, I don't tell him to shut up. I would never. I mean, I get a kick out of the conversation. And plus, if he's talking, I don't have to be involved. I get to just kind of sit back, kick back, and listen. And, I'm part of the conversation, but I don't have to put much effort into it. I just sit back and then I, maybe ask a question once in a while just to see if what I thought that was, or their backstory or whatever, if I was close. I love that. It's like I get points for that. It's great. It's like when you go to the grocery store and you save more than you spent. It's like a win. I don't know. Is that just me too? I don't know. It might just be me. Hey, Tesla 54. Hello. I'm going to wait to buy home until after election. Everything is currently too much interest rates. Hope you're doing well. I am doing fabulous. I love Ocala. Well, definitely come down in November then. So, or December. I don't know. December is actually a really, really, really good month to buy. Because if the people have their house up for sale, it's probably because it's already vacant, or it's been vacant or something like that, because nobody wants to move during the holidays. Nobody wants to put up with it. Nobody wants to do showings. Nobody wants to do that during the holidays. So you'll get the people that really need to sell. That's who's going to have their house up on the market. And you can get some really good deals because nobody's even house shopping during the holidays. Nobody wants to go house shopping. If they do, they're going to do it in November so that they can be in the house in time for Christmas. They want to have that Christmas tree in their new home. So they're already done. So when you start shopping like December 1st and onward, there's no competition out there for you. None. It's gorgeous weather too that time of year. December, I'll move then. Well, I'm glad I could help. That's funny. I don't know. I saw a charging station that I hadn't seen before. I think it was over at the college. Yeah, it was over at the college. The CF college has charging stations for Teslas now. I was like, ooh. Is there college students that they can afford Teslas? I must be out. I mean, I could afford a Tesla, but I didn't want to because they're not hybrid. They're just electric, and I forget to charge my phone. So I'd be stranded. I would be the goofball on the side of the highway that they've got to bring like a generator to or something. That would be so bad. Would be so bad. So yeah, no, I need to be able to use gas. I don't like pumping gas at all, but I love my Prius because it is a hybrid, which means I can do either or. It still gets like 60 miles to the gallon, so I'm happy. I'm happy. I saw somebody put solar on the top of their car. It was like they were doing like stealth camping. So they had like an SUV. I saw it on YouTube. You see everything on YouTube. If you want to find out how to walk a giraffe, just watch YouTube. But yeah, he put on the top of his SUV, he put solar panels. So he had like a stove in there. He had a sink. He had the water pumped through his. I mean, it was like an SUV camper. It was very interesting. But then he went above and beyond. And the other night I was cooking dinner and I'm listening to the YouTube in the background. And he was talking about how he put a wind turbine on the top of his vehicle, and he was bright red too. So it's not like you could hide that thing out. Um, but yeah, it was like a little one. It was like, I don't know, the size of a big beach ball or whatever. But it was, as he drove, it was actively putting juice into his, I don't know, his battery packet or something. Oh, I was like, what is that? I think he just gave me a tip. Thank you so much. I don't think I've ever had one of those. Thank you very much for that. That was very sweet. I'm gonna get me a Starbucks. You're so friendly and helpful. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm sitting here just chit-chatting. I got my Stanley here. This is a Stanley. My husband gets very jealous of Stanley. He thought it was ridiculous. I know I'm way extra or basic. I'm not sure which my daughter called me. I don't remember. But I love this thing. I love this thing. So because my thumb fits right here and it fits in the cup holder, and it's Florida and I drink water constantly. So I was drinking smart waters for the electrolytes and all of that fun stuff, but you can actually put electrolytes in your water. I did not know that. Really think about it, I guess. But I was drinking smart water, but for bottled water, we were paying like $10 a week because I was just getting them with groceries each week. No. Yeah. So I stopped doing that. I got this because it's literally perfect in every way. And it goes with me everywhere. And it has actually saved me so far about $60. I even took it on the cruise with me. But yeah, my husband thinks I'm a little bit crazy because I just call him Stanley. It's a him. It's a him. It's like chatty. ChatGPT is female to me. She's chatty. So that's Stanley. So I'll be like, where's Stanley? And then even David's doing it now. And he's like, my husband, he's like, do you have Stanley? Where is Stanley? I got him doing it. So yeah, it's hilarious. You charge it every night from your home in your garage. I know, but what if you forget? What if you're coming in at night and you're tired or whatever? I mean, I don't know. I would forget. I'd be like, I meant to go back out there and put it on the charger and I forgot. And, you know, you're bringing in groceries. I don't know. I would be the one to forget. I promise you, I would be the one. It would be so bad. Selling our home in California and moving to Bellevue in January to March 2025. Okay. Excuse me. Whenever Triple Crown finishes our build out. Kind of scared of the timing of the sale in California and move to Florida. Yeah, I mean, it can be a lot moving across country. That is definitely a little scary. But worst case, I mean, there's Airbnbs and stuff like that you can stay in. We even manage Airbnbs. I mean, there's stuff that you can do. You're not gonna be homeless. You will be okay. It might not be as perfectly smooth as like the best case scenario, but you're not going to end up homeless. You will be golden. You will just maybe have a little bit bumpy ride or something, because it's kind of hard to, you know, even when the houses are already built, it's really hard to hit that bullseye every single time of this is the exact date and day and time that I need to close on this house and this one. It's a little hard, a little bit hard. But again, you know, we can try our absolute best and try and hit that target every time. So did you, who's your realtor? It's not me. It might be one of my agents, but it's not me. I'm like trying to figure out, I don't think that's pretty sad. Anyway, but yeah, normally your realtor helps with that, like goes out and gets like pictures and videos of the house stage that it's at and kind of, you know, it moves things along a little bit when they're like, you know, if they're out at other jobs and not paying attention to your job, you gotta wheel them back in and be like, see, there's somebody that needs to be in this house. January, that'd be great. So yeah, I don't know. So talk to your realtor and tell them that they need to help you out with the situation to make sure that it is done by March and that you do not have to move twice, because that's annoying. So yeah, no one. Okay, that you are very bold, my friend, to go onto a realtor's YouTube channel and go, I did it myself. Okay, so do you have friends over here? That could work. You could, you know, phone a friend and tell them that they need to go over and get you videos of the house stage, wherever it's at, cleared land. And then there's a video I put up that actually shows the stages of the house being built and what goes into it. And then you'll know like what comes next if not the builder. But sometimes the builder, I don't know, they get, like I said, if they have a lot of different jobs or something, they're going to be, you know, this crew here and that crew there, and then this gets delayed, so they go to this other one, and then they forget to come back to this one. So you kind of have to like nudge them once in a while. That's what we do. Well, okay. I will do what I can to help. You're already past me. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Reach out to me. We'll chat. You don't have any friends down here yet. Well, you'll make some. You will definitely make some. But yeah, because that's what we normally do. Especially if there's a build, you want to know exactly what stage it's at. Check the permits also, because that's a huge indicator. If a permit has been open for a long time and it's supposed to, you know, and they have an open date and a, you know, it needs to be done by date for those inspections and stuff, and those permits, that's a really good indicator. So if it's been like maybe a little bit too much time, where it's just been open and nothing's been going on that particular inspection or something, or on that particular permit, then you can reach out to them that way. That's just, you're flying blind. That I could see that would be scary, because normally you need like boots on the ground. So yeah, that's not fun. But are you guys, I met my neighbor last, oh well, see, okay, so if you know the neighbor, that's awesome. Did he seem like good guy, nice guy, do you a favor kind of guy? There's a lot of, I know our neighbors would, but I've known him for a while now. But if he's a nice guy, he might go ahead and send you pictures, because he's probably already over there like noticing the house anyway. So if he could just send you a picture like once a week, since he's already like right there. And did exactly that. So see, you're fine. You'll be good. But yeah, get the phone number for the neighbor. Get some pictures. Because I mean, they do a great job. Don't get me wrong. This isn't like I'm trying to pick on Triple Crown. I love Triple Crown. Okay, love them. They do a really good build. But at the same time, you know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So, you know, squeak. Especially if you're trying to stick to a timeline. So yeah, they are. They're super, super nice. It's a really, well-run family business, and they've got a great reputation. They've built many houses for our customers, and I've never heard a bad word. And that is crazy, because normally there's at least one person that's not happy with something, but they've always had really excellent, happy customers. So, I mean, good grief. And I've gone into their builds like before. You got to do it before the insulation and the drywall goes up so you can actually see how they're built. And they go above. They always, like, there's the bare minimum that is required in order to pass a permit, and then they go a level up, which I love that, you know. They're gonna take the extra time and go the extra mile. I love that. I love that. But yeah, but it is custom. So custom homes, that's they're building them individually, specifically for you. Wow, that's so nice. Ah, you're gonna get your dream home. I know it. It's gonna be awesome. You're just gonna be thrilled. They really are great people. But again, make a little bit of squeaking. Good job. Normally we do it for the customer, but that works too. Whatever works for you to get it done. But you know, coming over, letting them know that you're coming into the area, even if you don't end up coming. I know that sounds awful, but just let them know that you're coming into the area, and you're just swing by the property and see. All of a sudden there might be some more work done on it. It's just human nature. It is not them. I don't know for sure, but it's human nature. So if, you know, there's somebody like gonna be there, it's just a little different. So but we have a, you know, great relationship with them. Absolutely love working with them. They've been awesome. So love that. But I have worked with other builders in the past. That I had one, don't worry, he's nobody I've ever recommended on the channel. He was a nice enough guy. He had great intentions. That's always, and then, yeah, he had a beautiful design. I mean, he had all the upgrades. The problem was he had all the upgrades. So even though the house was done, there wasn't the finishes. There was like some of the finishes. If he couldn't get top of the line exactly what he wanted for his vision, he just wasn't going to do it. He'd wait until he got his stuff. Well, yeah, except for he'd already gotten under contract for the house, because it was literally like, I don't know, the glass doors for the shower had to be installed. The carpet in one bedroom had to be, it was like little silly, stupid, nitpicky stuff. But they couldn't close on the house until he did that stuff. And we ended up going over because he just wasn't doing it. He had already, like, once we got under contract, he kind of got lost interest in the build. So I was like, no, you can't lose interest yet. You have to finish this. What are you doing? So we've never had any kind of issue like that with Triple Crown. This was a totally different builder, and it was like, I've never sold one of his houses since. I don't want to, because it was a fiasco. Because I was like, do I need to strap on a tool belt and come help you? What are you doing? These were very simple. Like, it would take one day to finish all of this. Just call the guys over one day, knock this stuff out, and let's get these people closed and in the home, and then you get money. And he just, oh my goodness, I think that closing took 6 weeks, and it really shouldn't have. It really shouldn't have. It probably should have been a 3-week closing. And oh my goodness, I was literally ready to just go over with my own people. Honestly, just, oh Lord. But yeah, he did get it done. We got it finished. He did actually come in and do it all in one day, just to clarify. He did. He just was like, he finally just paid attention to it and went in there and did it, mostly because I was threatening body parts at that point. I was so mad. I was so, because they were waiting to move in. They were waiting to move in. It was so bad. And then that particular family, I loved them. They were awesome. They were so down to earth. I don't even think they were there 6 months, and they called me up and they're like, Andrea, you got to help us. And I was like, why? What's wrong? Is it something with the warranty? Like, no. The husband got an astronomically amazing job offer in another state, and they had to sell. I was like, well, it was still under warranty. Like, they didn't even put the paintings and pictures up on the wall yet. they were sitting there on the floor about to go up on the wall, and then everything stopped. I was like, oh my goodness. So yeah, it was like a brand new home practically. They'd only been in, but it was a job offer they honestly could not pass up. It was amazing. So, whatever. It was crazy. The craziest stuff happens in real estate. It really, really does. It's always different. It's always exciting. I always learn something new every single day. So it's never boring. It's definitely never boring. My grandma told me way back in the day, she's like, you are going to love real estate. And I was like, Grandma, I know nothing about real estate. I know a house has doors and windows. That's it. I'm not even entirely sure what the walls are made out of. And she's like, this was years ago. And she's like, no, you don't understand. You are going to love real estate. You're going to be so good at it. I know this. And I actually fought her for about a year. I kept telling her, leave me alone. I'm not going to be a realtor. Those are those people that wear pantsuits. I'm not that person. So Grandma was right. She was. I absolutely love it. It is so different and so crazy, and just constantly things are changing, and constantly there's always something you can learn or do, or I mean, it's neat. It's a really, really neat field to be in. I love it. And there's so many people I get to help change lives. I mean, who can say that? I know it sounds really, really weird because a realtor, it's like, oh, you just go and open doors. No, I help tenants find houses. And then I help the tenants realize that they shouldn't be tenants. They should be buying a house because they're in a perfect position to do that, and it's not out of their reach. And there's down payment assistance, and there's all these amazing deals through builders and stuff. And so instead of being a tenant for the rest of their lives, they actually get to buy a home, build equity, and a few years later even sell it through me. I've actually had that happen a few times where they bought, built up a whole bunch of equity, sold, got another house that was even nicer than that one, and the whole thing they did without paying rent to somebody. It's cool, It's really cool. Aw, thank you. I don't know. I like it. I think it's great. Now I get to teach realtors how to be realtors or how to be better realtors, I guess. So yeah, I started teaching for the Florida realtors, and I actually get paid to go to different associations, not very often, like once a month or something like that. So, because again, I am a realtor. I want to stay in Ocala and stay in my field. But it's kind of fun to get to go out and travel around, and I love teaching. I absolutely love it. So I get to go and teach social media, and I get to teach how to work with buyers, and just a whole bunch of property management, all the stuff, So yeah, that's pretty cool. So, I mean, who would have thought years ago, probably my grandma, but she was really, really smart sometimes. But I mean, seriously, I don't even think she would have seen, like, I think I would blow her away with what I was able to do with that real estate license she talked me into getting years ago. She passed away. She was like my best friend, but she passed away a few months before I opened my brokerage. So she never got to visit it, but it was still, my grandpa did. They were married a few months shy of 60 years. And he came to my office, and he told me that she would be really proud. And that was back when I first opened. Now it's like we've grown so much. We got 2 locations. We actually left that office and went to a larger office, and now I'm traveling all over the state. And actually in October, in October I just got asked to go to Dallas, Texas, to teach. Actually, I'm not teaching, I'm speaking on that one. So I'm going to be paid speaker, and I'm going to go up and speak for about an hour, which is kind of crazy, at a national convention. So kind of cool. I don't think even grandma would have thought I would have been doing stuff like that. I never thought back in the day when I got my real estate license I would ever do something like that with it, but it's just kind of crazy where you end up. So kind of fun. But I don't know. I hope that all the realtors out there will do cool stuff with their license. They will help people and they'll always try and get better and to educate themselves, and then to turn around and once they have that education in their field, go and help others and teach others and show them easier ways to do things and stuff. So that's the hope anyway. I don't know. At my office, it's pretty small. And I always just kind of made it like a safe space for realtors because it can get a little crazy out there. They're pretty rough out there at some of the companies. So mine, I was like, I just don't want any fighting. I don't want any, nonsense or whatever. It's everybody is a team here. Everybody works together. Everybody gets along, and they do. They're really great. I have like the best agents. I would not be able to leave my office and go and teach or do speaking engagements or anything like that, or go on vacation. I wouldn't be able to do any of that if I didn't have such amazing agents at my office, because they've got it 100%, whether it's property management, sales, Airbnb management, whatever, they're on it like 100%. It's crazy. They're just really, really great. So I always figure if I serve them, then they can serve others and it'll all be wonderful in the end. But we'll see. I know that's really naive, but so far it's been working. So I'm going to roll with it. Well, I think it is about that time. I've been on here for 1 hour. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Unless you guys have questions or anything like that, feel free to go ahead and reach out to me. I will see what I can do to help you. We're kind of late in the stage for us to step in, and so we cannot step on toes, but I will help you to the best of what I'm able to do. Yep. So let me know. Go ahead and reach out to me. My information is always in the descriptions. It kind of automatically does it. So as soon as this live is over, it'll be in there. And then we can chat and see if there is anything we can do to help. Okay. But yeah, normally there is, I promise there's a really, really good reason and a use for realtors, even on new construction. We really do help, especially when you're moving from the other side of the country. We just smooth all the rough edges to the best of our ability and make it just easier on you. We take all the stress on all the, issues and all the unanswered questions, and we take it on ourselves and we just kind of swallow it down and eat it down, and then you don't have it. What you see is this nice calm event. It is not. There are very, very few real estate transactions that are actually calm. They're normally a little chaotic, but we do pretty good, I think, in calming the way as much as possible for people, because we're a part of people's lives for a short period of time, and it's just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of cool. Well, I'm getting maudlin or something, so I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. It's probably because I was talking about my grandma. That's rough. But I'm gonna get off of here, and hopefully you guys are gonna have a fantastic evening. I am definitely gonna have a fantastic week because I'm going to rock the country. I'm so excited. I'll let you know if I get to meet like Kid Rock or Leonard Skinner or something. That would be kind of cool. We'll see. They probably are like, Ocala, small town Ocala. Okay. But they are the ones that wanted to come here. So whatever. It'll be cool. I don't know. I'm excited about it. So I will let you guys go. Have a great evening, and thanks for hanging out with me this Monday night. It was fun. Bye.